Hi everyone, welcome to our environmental science and safety online class at Paradise Business and Technology College online classroom. I am the class coordinator, Mr. John Kaupa. Okay, these are my qualification and experiences, both field experience and teaching experience. I have a bachelor degree in applied physics, electronics and instrumentation from Papua New Guinea University of Technology. I have a level 2 training and assessment qualification. I also have a CASA training authorization number or Civil Aviation Safety Authority training authorization number for basic aeronautical subjects when I was with Hakatech Aviation College. I was also an AutoCAD trainer at Don Bosco after attending a trainer program at Don Bosco Technological Institute. I also have a OHS level 1 qualification. I also attended safety induction training when I was with Paradise Food Limited during a shutdown maintenance in 2021. And I also participated in one of the trainings on safe handling of hydrocarbon refrigerants used in aircons and global warming under SEPA and Don Bosco partnership at Taro Maron or East Boroko Don Bosco campus. These are my work experience. I was a lecturer at Asia Pacific Aviation Department, PNG Power, and opposite PNG Power Asia Pacific College. I was also a instructor and lecturer at Agatec Aviation College. I was an electrical maintenance engineer with at the Steel PNG Baroni factory. I was an electrical instructor at Don Bosco East Boroko Taroma campus for 2 years. And then I was also a electrical supervisor with Pacific Industries after I left Don Bosco. I was a junior electrical engineer with Green Dot Energy, one of the local engineering company that specializes in electrical engineering work. I was also a part-time electrical shutdown technician at Paradise Foods Limited in 2021. So these are my qualification and experience. I have both teaching and field experience to impart and share my knowledge with the upcoming generation of Papua New Guinea, including the working class, the non-school leavers, and the school leavers or unfortunate youths. Okay, our first topic, the definition of environmental science. Okay, what is environmental science? Environmental science is the study of the environment and the interaction between human and natural system. It combines knowledge from biology, chemistry, physics, and geography to understand how the environment works and how human activities affect it. So, from basic definition from primary school, we know that environment is things around us or surroundings, anything that is around us. So, environment can be living things or non-living things, okay, like water, the atmosphere, air in the atmosphere, rocks. These are non-living things, but they are also part of the environment. uh, Plants, animals, they are living things, but they are also part of the environment. So environment is basically living things and non-living things that makes up the environment, okay, in which we are part of, okay. These are the four major components or four components of the environment. And the environment is made up of four major components: the atmosphere, which talks about the air and gases in the atmosphere, okay. Hydrosphere, which is talking about the water and water cycle, okay, sea, ocean, creek, all this. And then we have the lithosphere. Lithosphere talks about the earth, okay, and geographical nature of the earth. And then biosphere. Biosphere talks about is a component that life, okay, it's talking about life, plants and animals. Okay, so biosphere. So these are the four components of the environment: atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere, and biosphere. We are going to discuss each of these components in the next slide. Okay, and the atmosphere is one of the components of the environment. Atmosphere is basically the layer of gas that surrounds the earth. It's commonly called the air, and atmosphere is very important because it contains oxygen and carbon dioxide, which are essential for living organisms. It also contains nitrogen and other gases. It supports life and protects the earth from harmful solar radiation. So these are the two important functions of a atmosphere. It contains the two important gases, oxygen and carbon dioxide, which are essential for life. And atmosphere also acts as a blanket or protective layer against the solar radiation or harmful radiation of the sun. The gas that constitutes the atmosphere are mainly nitrogen, 78.1%, and then oxygen, 20.1%, and then other gases constitute the other remaining percentage, argon and carbon dioxide. So atmosphere, you will see there are layers here, layers of atmosphere. We have the troposphere, which is the lower layer. That's where life exists. We have the stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. Exosphere is the outermost layer of the atmosphere. Okay. Okay, biosphere is one of the very important component also in the environment that makes up the environment. It talks about the water. Biosphere refers to the water, all water found on earth. It can be rivers, lakes, ocean, underground water, whatever it is. It includes ocean, rivers, lakes, streams, groundwater, and glaciers. Glaciers, water in the form of ice. Okay, biosphere covers about 71% of the Earth's surface. It is essential for drinking, especially for animals and plants. Animals and human beings, also plants, need water. Water is also used for agriculture and industrialization as well. So water can be very useful for plants, for animals, and also for human, for biological purposes, and also for industrialization as well. Okay, percentage composition of the biosphere or the water present on it. Mostly the ocean dominates the earth surface, which is 97.2% ocean. 0.03% is fresh water, and then water stored in ice sheets and groundwater is 2.77%. Okay, so these are the different composition of water on it. Okay, the next component of the environment is the lithosphere. Lithosphere is a component of the environment that talks about the geographical features of the earth, the geological process of rock formation, the soil, the geographical feature, the land, the mountain, the geographical features of the earth. Okay, it includes rocks, soil, mountains, and landforms. This component of the environment provides a land for agriculture, settlement, and mineral resource. All our mineral resources are extracted from the earth, which is the lithosphere, and the land is also used for agriculture, which is also part of the lithosphere. Plants and animals, we all depend on the land, so lithosphere is important in that regard. Okay, biosphere is where the life exists, or it's a component of the environment or zone of the environment where there is existence of life. Okay, it is a zone of life on Earth. It includes all living organisms such as plants, animals, and human beings. Biosphere interacts with the atmosphere, hydrosphere, and lithosphere. So we interact with these three other components of the environment for survival, including the plants and the animals. Okay, these are the four components of the environment. We have the hydrosphere, we have the lithosphere, we have the atmosphere, and the biosphere is where the life exists. So we are part of this biosphere. Animals, plants, microorganisms. We use the three other components of the environment for our survival. So it's like we are dependent on these three other components. We are dependent on the atmosphere for our oxygen. Plants breathe in carbon dioxide. We are dependent on the hydrosphere for water, and we are dependent on the lithosphere because we live on the land and we plant food and all this, and we harvest from the land. So this is how we use the three components of the environment for our survival, including the plants and animals also use these three components of the environment for their. Okay, the importance of environmental science. Environmental science is a very important study where we study the important aspects of environment, how to protect the environment, how to use the environment, and this subject is very important for us human beings to at least have a knowledge of the environment and how we can utilize them and conserve them and protect the environment for future generation as well. So environmental science is important because it helps us to understand environmental problems such as pollution and climate change. It helps us to protect natural resources like water, soil, forest, and minerals. It helps us to improve environmental quality for better living conditions. It helps us to promote sustainable development using resources without destroying them for future generations. And it also helps us to support decision making in environmental management and conservation. So this is a very important course and study for us human beings to also understand and know the importance of environment and how we can use the environment and how we can preserve and conserve the environment for future. Okay, in summary of the first topic or unit, we can make these closing statements. Environmental science studies the relationship between human and the environment. Okay, so basically environmental science is the study of the relationship between humans and the environment. Environment can be non-living things or living things. Living things, plants and animals. Non-living things, soil, air, water, rock. These are all non-living things, but they are part of the environment. Okay, the environment is made up of the atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere, and biosphere, which are the four components of the atmosphere. Atmosphere talks about the gas and air in the space. Hydrosphere talks about water, ocean, lakes, and all this. Lithosphere talks about the soil, geographical features of the land, land formation, and all this. And biosphere is the component where life exists. So these four components are the very vital components of the environment. Understanding these components helps us protect natural resources and promote sustainable development. Okay, we humans, our day-to-day living is entirely dependent on the environment. So our responsibility is to protect the environment and use it wisely and preserve some for future generation as well. Okay, unit 2 is on natural resources. We are going to discuss what are the natural resources. Okay, what are natural resources? Natural resources are materials and energy obtained from nature that humans use to survive and support economic activities. Okay, so basically natural resources are useful things that are present in nature that we human beings use for our daily survival or for economic benefits or activities. They are essential for life development and industrial production. Okay, so these natural resources are very important for life okay, and for industrialization or for commercial or economic activities. Okay, so these natural resources can be classified into two categories. We have renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Okay, so renewable resources, okay, they can be recycled, or we can use them over and over and over again. Non-renewable, once it's used, it's not reusable again. Okay, so these are the two categories. Okay, these are some of the examples of natural resources. Sun is one of the natural resources, and of course sun is a source of life on earth. Okay, that's why they say solar system. Forest is also one of the natural resources that we have. Rocks, minerals, soil, air, oil or hydrocarbons, and water. So these are the natural resources that we have. So these resources can be renewable or non-renewable resources. Okay, types of natural resources. Natural resources can be classified into two categories or two types. We have the renewable resources and we have the non-renewable resources. Renewable resources are natural resources that can be replenished or replaced naturally over time. Okay, examples of natural resources: sunlight. Sunlight is a natural renewable resource. Wind, water include rivers, lakes, rain. Okay, these are all renewable resources. Forest, if managed properly. Soil, if conserved. So some of the renewable resources, if we don't manage and conserve them or use them properly, they can become non-renewable, like forest, soil. If they are polluted, water, if they are polluted, then they become non-renewable. So our responsibility as humans is to protect and conserve and use the resources wisely. Okay, characteristics of renewable resources: they are naturally replenished or replaced by nature. They can be used repeatedly if managed well. Okay, if we can conserve and manage them well, then we can use them again. They are environmental friendly. Okay, these renewable resources are environmental friendly. The importance: they provide clean energy like solar, wind, and hydro power for electricity. These renewable resources also support agriculture and food production, like water and soil. Okay, for agriculture and food production, and they maintain a ecological balance. Okay, so if you destroy a environment, that's when you create an imbalance in the ecology. So natural resources are there, and because they are there, there is an ecological balance. Okay, example: if the water is polluted or if the forest is damaged, okay, that's when there is no ecological balance. Okay, so that we have to understand. Okay, another category of natural resources are non-renewable resources. Non-renewable resources are natural resources that are limited in supply and take millions of years to form. Okay, examples of these non-renewable resources are coal, petroleum, oil, natural gas, metallic minerals like iron, copper, and gold. These are all non-renewable resources. They take millions of years to form, and if they are used, they are not naturally replaced by nature. Okay, the characteristic of these non-renewable resources: okay, we have finite supply or limited supply in nature. When it is finished, it's finished. We cannot have them again in nature, or they are not replaced again in nature. They cannot be replaced by nature quickly, form over long geological process. Okay, so these are the characteristics of non-renewable resources. The importance: we use them for fuel and energy production, like natural gas, petroleum oil. Okay, can be used for fuel, or we can also burn this natural gas and oil for electricity production. Okay, essential for industrial manufacturing. Okay, we use these non-renewable resources in manufacturing and industrialization. It is used in transport and electricity. Okay, transport use fuel, diesel, petrol, and all this, and also electricity generation. We burn this fuel to generate electricity. So once they are used, they cannot be replenished or replaced by nature. Okay, so that's why they are called non-renewable. Okay, importance of natural resources, whether it's non-renewable or renewable resources. Natural resources are important because they support human life and economic development. They are used for energy production, agriculture, construction, and also in manufacturing and industrialization. Okay, energy production, fuel used for vehicle and machines like petrol, diesel, coal, electricity generation like hydropower, solar, and gas. Agriculture, water used for irrigation, fertile soil for crop production. Forests help maintain rainfall patterns, so we have a good weather for crop for maximum yield. Construction, sand, stones, made materials are used for construction. Building materials like timber, metals for infrastructure. Okay, and then natural resources are also used in manufacturing and industrialization. Raw materials for industries, minerals used in tools, electronics, and machinery. Oil used in plastics and chemicals. So plastics, oil are byproducts of hydrocarbon. Okay, in summary of this unit 2, natural resources, we can make this statement here. Natural resources are materials and energy from the environment used by humans. They are classified into renewable and non-renewable. Renewable, they can be replenished naturally by nature. Non-renewable, they are formed over years, millions of years, or if they are used, they cannot be replenished or renewed. Or if we don't use some of the renewable resources wisely, they become non-renewable, like soil, water, and all this. These resources are essential for energy, agriculture, construction, manufacturing, making them vital for survival and development. Okay, so resources, natural resources are very important. We need to use them wisely. We need to conserve them so we can use them again and again. Okay, Unit 3, ecosystems. Ecosystems are the very important fundamental part in the environment. We are going to discuss about ecosystems. Okay, what is a ecosystem? Okay, an ecosystem is a community of living organisms. Okay, plants, animal, and microorganisms. Okay, interacting with each other and with their physical non-living environment. Okay. This interaction includes the exchange of energy and nutrients within a natural system. So ecosystem is like a community of living organisms and how they interact and use the non-living things or their surroundings. Okay, components of an ecosystem. An ecosystem is made up of two aspects. We have the biotic, which is made up of the living organisms, plants and animals, and we have the abiotic, non-living things like water, air, soil, rock. All these are abiotic components of the ecosystem. Biotic components or living things can be classified into three categories. We have producers, consumers, and decomposers. Producers form the baseline of all the food chains, and they are plants. Plants are the producers. Plants produce their own food through photosynthesis, and they form the base of the food chain. Okay, so in an ecosystem there is a food chain. Okay, the basis of the food chain are the plants. Okay, consumers. Consumers are organisms that depend on other organisms for food, and that includes herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores. Herbivores, they eat plants only, like cows and goats. Carnivores, they eat other animals, like lions, snakes. They'll also eat other animals. Omnivores are like us, human beings. they live on plants and animals, both plants and animals. Like us, we eat both plants and animals. Decomposers are a very important organisms in the ecosystem because they play a very important part of decomposing. Okay, these are organisms that break down dead plants and animals. Examples are bacteria and fungi. Okay, they recycle nutrients back into the environment. So without decomposers, everything will be piling up. So decomposers, they play a very vital role of breaking down the dead plants and animals, and they recycle nutrients back into the environment. This is an example of food chain. Uh, in any food chain, you will see that the plants are the basis of all the food chain. Okay, we have grass makes its own food from the sunlight through the photosynthesis process, and then the grasshopper feeds on the grass. Then the frogs feeds on the grasshopper, and then the frogs are eaten by snakes, and then we have eagles that eat the snakes. So this is a good example of a food chain. And bear in mind that different ecosystems, they have different food chains. This is an example of a food chain, maybe in a small ecosystem in a grassland or savanna grassland, or different ecosystems, they have different food chains, like on the land, in the forest, in the water. This is an example of a food chain in the ocean. Okay, abiotic component of the ecosystem or non-living things, they are very important as well in an ecosystem because the living organisms depend on abiotic components in an ecosystem to maintain their survival. Okay, so examples of abiotic components in the ecosystem are sunlight, water, air, soil, temperature, minerals. These factors support life and influence how ecosystem functions. Okay, example of ecosystems. Forest ecosystem, dense vegetation with trees and wildlife, high biodiversity. Example of a forest ecosystem is a tropical rainforest. There's an example here, you can see. Another example of ecosystem is marine ecosystem in the sea, found in oceans and seas, includes fish, coral reefs, plankton. It covers most of the head surface because sea dominates, or ocean dominates the head's surface. Another example of ecosystems is freshwater ecosystems. This includes rivers, lakes, streams, and ponds. Any living organisms living in these water, or rivers, lakes, streams, and ponds, it's their habitat and it's an ecosystem of its own. So this ecosystem supports fish, insects, aquatic plants, or plants that grow in the water, aquatic plants. So they make up this freshwater. Another ecosystem is grassland ecosystem. It's dominated by grass and few trees. Supports grazing animals like cattle, zebras, and antelope. So this is another example of ecosystem. The importance of ecosystems are important because they provide food and habitat for living organisms, maintain ecological balance, okay, support oxygen and carbon dioxide cycles, provide natural resources, wood, water, soil fertility, and support human survival and livelihood. So ecosystem is very important. Once there is a balance in the ecosystem, life exists, and they also support our sustenance and our living as well. Okay, summary. An ecosystem is a system where living organisms interact with each other and with their environment. It consists of producers, consumers, and decomposers working together within a natural habitat. Habitat is a place that they live, okay, such as forest, ocean, freshwater bodies, and grasslands. Okay, Unit 4, Environmental Pollution. Okay, water pollution. Pollution is the introduction of harmful substances or energy into the environment, causing damages to living organisms, natural resources, and ecosystems. So, when harmful substances are introduced into the environment, then they cause pollution. These are the four types of pollution. We have air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution, and noise. Okay, let's look at air pollution. Air pollution is a contamination of the atmosphere by harmful gases, smoke, dust, and chemicals. The cause of air pollution, emission from vehicles like cars, trucks, and buses when they burn fuel, carbon monoxide given out. Okay, industrial smokes from factories, burning of waste and plastics, deforestation, and bushfire. Bushfire can pollute the air. Deforestation plants maintain a balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide. When they are destroyed or when there is a deforestation, then there is imbalance and there is a lot of carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide in the air. The effects of air pollution, they can cause health issues like respiratory diseases like asthma, bronchitis. They also contribute to climate change and global warming. When the air is polluted, we have acid rain formation. Okay, in developed countries, they used to experience acid rain. Uh, Air pollution can cause damage to plants and animals. Okay, and it also reduces the air quality and visibility of atmosphere. Okay, water pollution. What is water pollution? Water pollution is a contamination of water bodies such as rivers, lakes, and oceans with harmful substances. The cause of water pollution, industrial waste discharge or disposal into the water can cause water pollution. Oil spill from ships and pipelines can cause pollution of the ocean or water. Untreated sewage, okay, can be harmful substance that can cause water pollution. Agricultural chemicals, fertilizers, and pesticides used in agricultural activities can cause water pollution as well. The effects of water pollution on the environment can cause death of aquatic organisms. Aquatic organisms meaning animals or organisms that lives in water. Unsafe drinking water. Okay, when the water is polluted, it's not safe anymore to drink. It can also spread waterborne diseases like cholera and typhoid if the water is polluted. Destruction of aquatic ecosystem. When there is water pollution, then it can also destruct the aquatic ecosystem. Okay. Okay, soil pollution. Soil pollution is a contamination of soil with harmful chemicals and waste materials. Some causes of soil pollutions: excessive use of chemical fertilizers, use of pesticides, chemical used to kill pests or insects. Okay, industrial waste disposal. Okay, improper dumping of garbage and plastics into the soil or onto the land can pollute the soil. Effect of soil pollution to the environment and nature. It reduces soil fertility. It also affect the production of poor crop production. Food contamination. Okay, loss of soil organisms. Any living things, plants. Animals and plants also, depending on soil, can extinct. Okay, loss of soil organisms. Environmental degradation. Okay, so the environment degrades when the soil is polluted because soil is the basis of all the living organisms. Even okay, noise pollution. Noise pollution is the presence of unwanted or harmful sound that disturbs human and animal life. Sources of noise pollution: traffic, cars, buses, or motor vehicles running on the road. They cause a lot of noise. Construction activities also produce a lot of noise. Industrial machineries, factories, minings, we have machineries running, causing a lot of noise. Loud music and generators. These are the causes of all the noise pollution. Effects of noise pollution on human and animal life. Animals migration and extinction. Okay. Sleep disturbance for human and also animals. Stress, anxiousness, hearing loss for animals and human. Disturb animal communication and navigation because sound is travels at a frequency. It can also disturb the navigation of animals and also disturb the communication of animals. It also disturbs mating process of animals, and it will contribute to the imbalance of ecology or ecological imbalance. That's when migration and extinction because of noise pollution. Okay, in summary, environmental pollution is the contamination of air, water, soil, and sound in the environment. It is mainly caused by human activities such as industrial production, transportation, agriculture, and waste disposal. Also, mining and commercial activities, logging, all these activities. Pollution has serious effects on human health, ecosystem, and okay, Unit 5, climate change. Let's look at what is climate change, what is the cause, and what is the effect of climate change on environment. Okay, what is a climate change? Climate change refers to long-term changes in temperature, weather patterns, and climatic conditions on Earth over time. These changes can affect rainfall patterns, seasons, temperature, and natural ecosystems, the life of living things, and the environment. These are the causes of climate change: banning of fossil fuels, deforestation, industrial activities. When there is industrialization taking place, then it can contribute to climate change. Greenhouse gas emission like carbon monoxide or any gas that harms the ozone layer, okay, can cause the climate change. Okay, these are some of the causes of climate change. Generating power using fossil fuels, burning fossil fuels to generate electricity, manufacturing or industrialization. That's when factories produce a lot of carbon monoxide and fumes and gases exposed to the air. When you use transports, vehicles, airplanes, ships, they also burn hydrocarbons to produce greenhouse gases, which is harmful to the atmosphere and the ozone layer, which contributes to climate change. Cutting down of forest, logging activities, because forests are the major absorbers of carbon dioxide and greenhouse gases. When you cut down these forests, there is an imbalance in the equation there. So there is a lot of carbon dioxide present in the atmosphere, which can contribute to the global warming and climate change. Okay, the causes of climate change. Climate change is mainly caused by human activities and natural processes, but human activities are the major contributors today. Okay, so causes of climate change can be burning of fossil fuels or hydrocarbons, deforestation, logging, industrial activities, industrialization, greenhouse gas emission. Okay, so burning of fossil fuels like coal, oil, and natural gas release carbon dioxide. Okay, when we use our vehicles, factories, and power plants using fossil fuels to burn, so it emits a lot of carbon dioxide into the air, and that carbon dioxide pollutes the air. Okay, so it also increases greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. So burning of fossil fuels contributes to the climate change as well. Okay, deforestation, cutting down trees reduces oxygen production. This is very important because forests are the major absorbers of carbon dioxide and they also produce oxygen. So when we cut down trees, we are reducing the production and we are increasing the carbon dioxide emission in the air. Okay, so few trees absorb carbon dioxide. It leads to increased greenhouse gas concentration. So when the atmosphere is polluted, that's when we have all these serious issues raising, global warming, and all these things. Okay, industrialization or industrial activities also contribute to the climate change. Factories releases gas such as carbon dioxide, methane, and other pollutants. Okay, so industrial processes increase air pollution and global warming. Okay, global warming is basically when the temperature of the earth rises because the atmosphere is polluted and it's no longer protective. So a lot of ultraviolet rays coming into the earth causing rise in temperature, melting of ice in the north and south pole, and then increasing of sea level and weather changes, weather pattern changes, extinction of species, and all these things. Greenhouse gas emission also contributes to climate change. Greenhouse gases include carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. Okay, these are the greenhouse gases, or chlorofluorocarbon, carbon monoxide. These are all greenhouse gases. These gases trap heat in the atmosphere, causing global warming. So global warming is basically when the atmosphere is no longer protective and we have a lot of heat trapped and also a lot of ultraviolet radiation coming into Earth, causing ice to melt, temperature rise, and all these things happening. So islands will sink, weather condition, weather pattern changes, and all these things. These are the effect of global warming. Okay, when the climate changes, it is a lot of effect. It is a lot of effects on the environment. One of the effects is temperature rises, flood and droughts, sea level rises, and loss of biodiversity. Okay, temperature rises, increase in global average temperature will lead to North Pole and South Pole ice melting and increase sea level, and then some islands will sink. It leads to heat waves and dry conditions because where the temperature rises, the weather pattern and condition also changes. Floods and droughts. Every rainfall causes flooding, okay, because of change of weather patterns due to global warming. Reduced rainfall leads to droughts and water shortage, okay. Sea level will rise, melting glaciers or ice in the water in the form of ice will melt, and ice caps increase ocean levels, and then it will cause coastal flooding and loss of land or island will sink. Okay, these are all effects of global warming. Loss of biodiversity. This is one of the effect that it will have on the plant species and animal species. When weather condition changes, that's when animals and plants cannot survive anymore. So that's when we have loss of species extinction, loss of biodiversity, loss of plants species, loss of animal species, and also the habitat also is destroyed. Okay, so many plants and animals cannot survive changing conditions. Okay, it leads to a extinction of some species, disrupts ecosystem and food chain as well. So and also their habitat are affected due to climate change. Some other additional effect of climate change: food shortages due to poor crop production. When the climate changes, that's when it will affect food production as well, because the weather condition also, weather condition patterns also changes. So it will also affect the agriculture sector in food production and all this. Spread of diseases in warmer climates. When weather pattern changes, climate changes, then we have the disease will spread. We have bacteria and viral infection will grow. Damages to infrastructure from extreme weather conditions. When weather pattern changes, a lot of rainfall, flooding, and it will cause a detrimental effect on the infrastructure of buildings and all this. Economic losses in agriculture and fisheries. When climate changes, when we have species extinction, we have low crop yield and all this, it will affect the economy of a country and the global economy as well because of the climate change. Okay, in summary of this unit, we can make this few statement in conclusion. Climate change is the long-term change in weather patterns caused mainly by human activities such as burning fossil fuels or hydrocarbons, deforestation, and industrial emissions of greenhouse gases. It leads to rising temperatures, extreme weather events, sea level rise, and loss of biodiversity. So climate change is a very serious issue that we are facing now. It's because of our own reckless activities. We are destroying our environment. So we need to be responsible for what we are doing, what we are consuming, and in that way we protect our environment and our. Okay, Unit 6, Environmental Conservation. How do we conserve and preserve and protect our environment? Okay, what is conservation of environment, or what is environmental conservation? Environmental conservation involves the protection, preservation, and sustainable management of natural resources to prevent environmental damage and ensure resources are available for future generations. It focuses on using resources wisely and reducing human impacts on the environment. Okay, methods of conservation. The first one is reforestation. Reforestation is basically replanting of trees. It's one of the conservation methods. Planting trees in areas where forests have been cut down or deforestation taking place is reforestation. Opposite of reforestation is deforestation. Deforestation is cutting down trees. It helps restore animal habitats. Habitats where animals live and breed and feed. Okay. Reforestation reduces carbon dioxide in the atmosphere because forests are the major absorbers of carbon dioxide. It prevents soil erosion because when there is excessive logging taking place, the soil is left exposed to the atmosphere. Whenever there is a rain, there is a high risk of erosion of the soil. Okay, water conservation, using water efficiently and avoiding wastage. Okay, methods of water conservation or preservation includes avoid wastage of water, unnecessary usage of water. Human beings must avoid disposal of waste into the clean water. Proper industrial waste management system must be in place, avoiding disposal of industrial waste being disposed into clean water. Rainwater harvesting, we must not depend on creeks and rivers. We must also harvest or get water from the rain as well. Store and use fresh water properly. Okay, still on conservation of natural resources. Soil conservation. Soil or land is one of the very important natural resources that we depend on our daily survival. We feed off from the land, including the plants and the animals. So we must always protect the land and conserve it. So one of the conservation of natural resources is soil conservation. Soil conservation is basically protecting soil from erosion and degradation. So these are the two risks of soil. Soil can be eroded or it can be degraded. Okay, so methods of conserving the soil, including especially when it's to do with agriculture and farming, they use this terracing if it is on a slope, farming or agricultural activity happening on a slope. Then they use terracing, crop rotation, mulching, and planting cover crops. Cover crops are crops that enrich the soil again, and mulching as well. Crop rotation also is part of the soil conservation, and terracing is one of the techniques used to avoid soil erosion. That's for agriculture and farming, but also for industrial and commercial activities like logging and mining. When the forest is cleared, when the bush is cleared, then the soil is exposed, and during heavy rainfalls and all this, soil is at the risk of erosion and all this. So after mining or logging activities, there must be a proper rehabilitation program in place to bring back the forest, okay, or reforestation to bring back the wildlife habitat and maintain or restore the ecological balance that was before the logging or mining activities taking place. Okay, another conservation method is wildlife protection. Is to do with the conserving of wildlife. Basically, wildlife conservation is protecting animals and their natural habitats. Natural habitats are natural places or where the animals live, feed, and breed. Okay. In wildlife conservation, we can also establish national parks and reserves for conserving endangered species. Like Port Moresby National Park is one of the national parks. It's a wildlife protection method. Preventing illegal hunting that can be done by the government, poaching, and maintaining biodiversity or maintaining plants and animals. So these are some of the conservation methods. These are the importance of conservation. Environmental conservation is important because it maintains ecological balance in nature. It protects biodiversity, plants and animals. It ensures sustainable development, and it prevents depletion of natural resources. It supports future generation with resources, and it reduces environmental problems like erosion and deforestation. So these are the importance of conservation. Okay, in summary of this unit, we can make these few closing statements. Environmental conservation is a responsible use and protection of natural resources to prevent environmental damage. Methods such as reforestation, water conservation, soil conservation, and wildlife protection help maintain ecological balance and support the sustainable development of the natural resources and our environment. Okay, Unit 7, Waste Management. Okay, waste management. What is a waste management? Waste management is the process of collecting, transporting, treating, recycling, and disposing of waste materials in a safe and environmentally friendly way. It aims to reduce environmental pollution and protect human health. Okay, so this is what waste management is all about. If you don't control the waste properly and dispose them properly, it will also harm us. It will also harm the environment. Okay, different types of waste or unwanted materials or substance. There are actually 4 of them in category. We have solid waste, liquid waste, hazardous waste, and industrial waste. The first one is a solid waste. A solid waste includes solid materials such as plastic, paper, food waste, and metal scraps. These are examples of solid waste. They are commonly found in households and industries. The next one is the liquid waste. Liquid waste is waste in liquid form such as sewage, wastewater from factories, oils and chemicals, and this type of waste can easily pollute the water bodies. Okay, the third one is the hazardous waste. Hazardous waste are waste that is dangerous to human and the environment. Examples of hazardous waste are chemicals, batteries, medical waste, and toxic industrial materials like radioactive materials or elements. These are hazardous waste. The last one is industrial waste. Industrial waste are waste that produced by factories and industries. Okay, it includes gases, chemicals, metals, and wastewater. Often require special treatment. So this type of waste require special treatment before disposal. Okay, the waste management method. How do we manage and control this waste? Sometimes they say the 3S: reduce, recycle, and reuse. Okay, reduce definition: reducing means minimizing the amount of waste produced. Example: using fewer plastic bags, avoiding unnecessary packaging, buying durable products. Importance: reduces pollution and saves resources and lowers waste disposal. Reuse means using the item again instead of throwing them away. Example: reusing glass bottles, using containers for storage, repairing all items instead of replacing them. Importance of reuse: reduces waste generation, saves money, and conserves resources. These are the importance of recycle. Recycling means processing waste materials into new useful products. Example: recycling paper into new paper products, melting plastics to make new items, recycling metals like aluminum and steel. Importance of recycling: reduce environmental pollution, conserves natural resources, and supports sustainable development. Okay, let's make some closing statements in summary of this unit. Waste management is the proper handling of waste to protect the environment and human health. Waste is classified into solid, liquid, hazardous, and industrial waste types. The 3S means reduce, reuse, and recycle. The key methods used to manage waste efficiently and effectively. Okay, Unit 8, environmental responsibility. As human, we are dependent on the environment, so we have to be responsible for the environment. Okay, environmental responsibility means the duty of individual, communities, and organizations to protect and care for the environment. Everyone plays a role in ensuring that natural resources are used wisely and environmental damage is minimized. Okay, these are individual environmental responsibilities. As human beings, we are more dependent on the nature, the environment. Our daily needs and wants are provided by the environment, so we have to be more protective and we have to take care of the environment. So it is our responsibility to protect the environment at all costs on a daily basis. Every person has a role in protecting the environment. These are some of the uh, responsibilities that we have on a daily basis. We must avoid littering or throwing rubbish everywhere. Okay, this will cause harm to the environment. We must conserve water and energy. Water and energy are the natural resources available in nature. We must use them wisely and conserve them for future generation. We must plant trees or reforestation. When there is deforestation, we have trees being cut down, then the act of planting new trees is reforestation. Okay, so when we cut down a tree, we must plant a new tree just to maintain the ecological balance in the nature. We must reduce the use of plastics. Okay, plastics are non-biodegradable materials. They cannot be decomposed, or they are not going to be decomposed by the microorganisms, so they become a pollution to the environment. So we must reduce the use of plastics. Okay, workplace environmental practices in the workplace, or companies or organization must have systems in place to protect the environment as well, especially the waste management system and all this. Organization and workplaces also have a responsibility to protect the environment. So these are the safe practices that they must practice. Proper waste disposal. They must separate waste into categories like recyclable, non-recyclable, and hazardous waste. Dispose of waste in approved system or approved waste management system. Prevent environmental contamination. Okay. B. Safe chemical handling. Store chemicals safely. Use PPE. Follow safety guidelines and prevent spills and leakage. So these are some of the safety practices. We have other safety practices on the next slide. Okay, this is the continuation of the environmental practices in workplace. C. Energy conservation. Switch off machines when not in use. Use energy efficient equipment. Reduce unnecessary power consumption. Okay. D. Pollution prevention. Control emission from machines and vehicles. Treat waste before disposal. This is very important, especially industrial and commercial company like minings and logging companies and all this. Their waste must be disposed properly before, after treatment. So it does not do any harm or cause any harm to the environment. Reduce industrial waste output. Okay, so this is what companies and organizations must do or take as a responsibility. So in other words, they must also contribute to the safety of the environment and conservation of the environment. So this is some of the responsibilities of organizations and companies. So we also have the Environmental Act, where the companies must comply to. If they breach the laws of the Labor Department and the Environment Department, they are also liable to pay certain fees and fines. Okay, importance of environmental responsibility. Environmental responsibility protects natural resources, reduce pollution, improves public health, supports sustainable development, and ensure a clean environment for future generations. Okay, in summary of this unit, we can make these closing statements or summarize everything in these brief statements here. Environmental responsibility involves actions taken by individual and workplace or organization or companies to protect the environment. Simple practices such as avoiding littering, conserving resources, planting trees or reforestation, proper waste disposal, and pollution prevention helps create a sustainable and healthy environment. So it's a collective effort for us to protect and conserve our environment, because on our daily life it depends on the environment. Okay, end of the presentation. Thank you.